Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking this video. In today's tutorial, we'll be creating the maxi summer dress that you're looking at on the screen. And to get started, I have my basic bodies here. I have the back and here is the front. I'm going to label so as not to mismatch it. Then to this front now, I'm going to measure the strap. The strap I want to work with is about 6 inches. So from this neck, I'm going to measure 6 inches downward, then I'm going to draw a line. Alright, so now on this line, I'm going to measure the chest width. You determine how wide you want your chest width to be, but in this case, I'm going to use 5 inches. So 5 inches from the center front. I'll mark it. Then I'm going to take my ruler, the curvy part, to reshape the armhole. I'm done reshaping the armhole. The next thing is to cut it out. When we place these front bodies on the fabric, we're going to ignore this side dart, then this waist dart will add to the width of the fabric. Okay, now moving to the back, we're going to do the same thing. We want to measure the strap 6 inches downward so we can shape this armhole, and you can actually use these front bodies to cut both front and back, but I'm going to shape the back. I'm going to mark 6 inches down from the neck area, then I'm going to square a line. The back width, I'm going to make it a little wider than the front. I use 5 for the front. Now I'm going to use 5.5. Okay, then I'm going to use the curvy part of my ruler to connect or to reshape the armhole. I'm going to label, then cut out. Alright, so here is the fabric I want to use. I have about 6 yards here, but we're not going to use more than 4 yards. Here I have my fabric folded already, but let me quickly show you what I did. Alright, so this is by 4 yards, then I folded it into 2 yards. 2 yards will overlay on that 2 yards. Then I also, after doing this, I also folded again into 4 like this. Alright, so what I have here is what I have here at this top, then here is what I have here. It's time to place the pattern on the fabric. I'm going to use the back because the back is the widest here on the neck area. So we can actually place it without slashing, but in this case, I'm going to slash it. I'm going to have about 3 lines. You can space it equally, even though my third line here is not of the same space, but it will still work. Make sure you space yours equally. All right, the second line, and I have my third line, then I'm going to slash it. If you don't want to slash it, what you just need to do is to place this on the fabric. Just leave about 5 inches or 6, depending on how wide you want it. From this center front, just mark about 5 inches, then you place your pattern this way, then leave ½ inch up for turning, then just slant it down to the hem. But in this case, we're going to slash. Before spreading it on the fabric, I'm going to draw a margin at the top first. From the margin, I'm going to mark about ½ inch downward. That will be the seam allowance to turn the upper part. I'm going to connect the points together. Right now, I'm going to set the panels on the fabric, starting from the center front. Okay, the numbering will help me not to mismatch them. So this is the center front. I'm going to place it like this. Then I'm going to place the next one, spacing it by 1.5 inch. You can use 2 inches. It depends on how full you want the gathers at the neck area to be. But in this case, I'm using 1.5. So I'm spreading all the panels by 1.5 inch. After spreading, I'm going to hold the panels down with pins. I'm done pinning down. The next thing now is to measure the length. The strap is about 6 inches. So I'm going to push 6 inches up my tape rule. I'm going to put the 6 inches on the half-inch line for the seam allowance, and I'm going to take the measurement because my table is small, so I'll not be able to take the full measurement at once. I'm going to take it bit by bit. This is 54, and the full measurement I want to take is 64 plus seam allowance. Then shifting the fabric upward, I'll be taking the remaining 14 inches. I'm going to roll the hemline. Please note that 64 inches length includes the hemming at the bottom. It's time to add my seam allowance. To this side, I'm going to add 1.5 inch. You can add 1, can add 2 inches, it depends on you. I'm using 1.5 here. Then the armhole also, I'm going to follow the curve. I'm going to add half an inch seam allowance. I'll follow the curve, half an inch. From this side seam now, I'm going to slant a line to join the hemline, like an A shape. This hem, so that it will not be too sharp, I'm going to mark 1.5 inch upward from the hemline, 1.5 inch. Then I'm going to connect in a curve like this. All right, so it's time to cut out. Remember that the chest width is different from the back width here, different from this back width. So I'll be removing the pins from these panels. After removing the back panel, please ignore the chalk that you're looking at now. I'm going to place the front. We want to reshape the front because the front armhole is different and the chest width is different. So I'm going to place it. This is 1.5 seam allowance. Just place the front panel this way. Then I'm going to reshape it this way. You can actually use the same panel for both front and back, but I want it different. So I'm reshaping it this way. If you are getting it, then I'm going to add my seam allowance now. This is half an inch up here, half an inch. All right, then the armhole area also, I'm going to mark half an inch as my seam allowance on the new line. But let me finish this upper part first, half an inch. Then the armhole, half. You can actually ignore this process. Front and back can be the same, but because I don't want any excuse, I want it to have a perfect fit. That's why I'm reshaping the front. Alright, so now it's time to cut. So I'm going to push the one inside. This will be the back. I'll push it down like this, then set this well. This will be the front, and I'm going to cut the new neckline out. After tracing the front neckline, I went ahead and cut facing for both front and back. The length of the facing is about 2 inches. Before stitching the facing, I went ahead and turned both front and back, right side facing right side. So I'm going to stitch the side seam at the two sides. I'm done stitching the sides. Okay, now I want to pipe the armhole. You can use the same fabric and cut it on bias, but I'm using my bias tape here. So what just going to do, I'm going to place it on the right side. Place it on the right side like this. I'm going to stitch down, then turn it over this way and stitch down. I'm going to do it the same way the other side also. All right, then I'll come to the hem, then I'll roll it twice and stitch down. I'm done stitching the armhole. I did it on the two sides. Okay, so now moving to the facing, I'm going to place the facing on it. This is the wrong side of the main fabric. I'm going to place the right side of the facing. Okay, I'm going to place it like this. Then the edge, I'm going to roll it like twice and stitch it down twice. Stitch it, then place it. Then I'm going to stitch on half an inch This way, I'll make sure I roll the edge here also twice before stitching it down, half an inch. Then I'll do the same to the other side also. Then afterward, I'll bring it to the front like this. Then I'll roll it inward, then stitch down. I'll do the same to the other side. Here it is, I'm done stitching. Okay, this is the back and here is the front. I left small opening here to pass my rope. I created a rope. Here is the rope. This is how I got the length of my rope. Remember the strap is 6 inches. So front and back on each side will be 12 inches. So 12 times 2 is 24. And the chest line I have, the chest measurement I have here in front is 5 inches. And you know it's placed on fold. So 5 plus 5 is 10. So if you add 10 plus 24, that's 34. Then the back is 5.5. 5.5 times 2, that's 11. So total I have 45. Then I added extra for tying. So now let's measure the rope. Let's see how much I have here. Alright, so I have about 65 inches, which is enough for me to tie. I'm going to use my safety pin to pass it through the hole. I'm going to pass it here. Alright, it will come out from here. Then I will insert it here, pass it through, come out from here. Then I will insert it here. Then it come out from the center front. After passing the rope, the next thing is to gather to your measurement. You just need to pull the rope. Remember that when you open the back measurement up, we have 11 inches. Then the front, we have 10 when you open it up. Then the strap, we have 6 in front, 6 at the back. That's 12 inches strap on each side. So just pull. You can as well adjust it on your body. When you're done, just knot the front and you're good. And here it is on my dress form looking nice. And if you want to snatch your waist, all you just need to do is to create a belt. Just tie it around the waistline just like you're looking at now. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to support me by subscribing, give it a thumbs up. You can also hit the notification bell so as to get notified when I upload new videos. Till I come your way again. Bye for now.